Welcome to the Open Ultra League, and we are running a Zero XL team, which is a lot of fun to play. This is Dragonite double steel with the safe switch Melmetal and the Escavalier in the back. The aim of this team is to use our Dragonite as the counter to the potential threats for our backline, which is going to be Swampert, Fighters, and the Fire types. Dragonite beats all of them. Here we call the bait, and the opponent baits here. We have built up to the Hurricane, and does the opponent respect a Hurricane? Let's see. He does not, because honestly we are debuffed, and XL Jellicent is so stupidly tanky that he can easily tank. We are calling it again, and it's another Bubble Beam bait, and as you can see the ABB team is working just as we need it to. In comes the Fighter, the Scrafty, and we are going to use our Melmetal here, go for some nice damage with the superpowers. We'll come in with the Dragonite and beat it, and hopefully Escav can sweep in the back. So this is exactly how this team works, and you'll be quite surprised to see that this team can pick up quite a lot of wings against the XL teams if played correctly. I was able to climb to 2350-ish ELO with this team, but it's really difficult to climb beyond that because there are going to be too many XL mons like I am facing right now, such as Alolan Ninetales and Umbreons, Mandibuzz, all those level 50 mons, and even like Jelly. So this is a CMP tie on the Shadow Ball. I'm going to go for Dragonclaw. It does not even cure, it does not even do 30% to the tanky level 50 Jellicent. We get taken out in return, and what is in the back? It is a Shadow Nidoqueen, and in the Ultra League the Shadow Nidoqueen cannot one-shot us with Earth Power, especially when we are not debuffed. So all we have to do is no shield the first move, because if we get baited twice we can lose. So we're going to no shield it. Even if it's an Earth Power, it's fine because it's not going to one-shot. He goes for the bait, and now this match is as good as over. Now his only win condition is to catch our next drill run on the Fat Jelly, but we are not going to let that happen. We're going to keep over farming, be very careful so that he does not catch, use our shields, and this should be a good game. So again, this is a classic ABB team, and I love using ABB teams in most of the metas because it just gives so much of flexibility. Well, especially because you have a set game plan and you know how to go about it. And the Melmetal safe switch is also great in this meta because if they bring in a Talonflame, you can rock slide it. If there's any other fire type, and Melmetal is a pretty good generalist to be all around, and once you draw out the Fighter, the Swampert, or the fire type, we can close well with Escav. In the second game we pick up the Dream lead, we pick up the Swampert in the lead. In comes the Alolan Muck, and I switch to my Melmetal. Well, I'll tell you the reasoning behind this, but let's see what he goes for. Does he go for the Dark Pulse? Yes, he does. So the reasoning behind this is that I want to use up my Melmetal here because Melmetal has a very bad matchup against the Swampert, and if we can maintain like switch advantage, that's great. But even if we can't, it's fine because next we can, because the Escav also has a pretty good matchup against the Swampert, and we can farm down this Alolan Muck with our Escav, but he lets it go, so he gets shield advantage, I get switch advantage, which is great. I was happy with either one, and I have a lot of loaded energy and health on my Dragonite, and I'm going to bring in my Dragonite here, and this might look like a weird play, but the reason behind this is that I was hard reading that he does not have a counter to steel types in the back because Swampert is already a steel counter, and as you can see he did have Venusaur in the back. Well, this is just, you know, when you keep playing against a lot of opponents in a particular ELO range, you'll get to know the kind of team comps and what they have in the back. And since Swampert beats all the steel types in the meta, usually the back line is quite weak to steel. And so we pick up our second win, and this video will have quite a few matches. I think there are 6 or 7 matches in all, and again we pick up a lead against the Scrafty, which is really good because we don't want him to we don't want the Melmetal on this. But as you can see the opponent is lagging, so I'm just like checking if he's like coming back, and eventually he's back, so I'm going to let him get in quite a few counters. I don't know exactly how many tons of energy I got, but I just like let him like catch up here so that, you know, this is kind of a fair match. I mean, I can't really be exact with the energy he got. He shields the Dragonclaw, and now I'm going to go straight for the superpower. Is he going to go 2 shields down? Yes, he is. And I'm going to bring in my Escavalier. I'm going to start like countering him down. This is enough for the foul play, so I'm going to shield, and he did go for the foul play, and now we can just like counter him all the way down. He realizes that and concedes the match. So that's very unfortunate that he faced so much of lag. I mean, even I faced some games where I started the game and then and then after lagging out for 5 or 7 seconds, sometimes even more, I come back and see that my opponent has already farmed down the entirety of my first mon, and it's very annoying to see that happen. So my apologies to that opponent if you're watching this video. I really tried to make it an even match, but I was not able to. And now we pick up a lead against the spider, the electric spider, and they always go for the lunge, especially on not so tanky mons like the Dragonite, so I was calling it. And now I can start spamming out these Dragon Claws, because 2 Dragon Claws will definitely take out the spider. He goes for a shield, which is fine by us. We're going to go for another Dragon Claw, and I think this might KO, because the fat spider, the yellow spider, is not really the tankiest in the, even in the UL, being at level 50, but he does survive it on 1 HP and a dream. He baits again, which is fine by us, and we can like get some energy with our Melmetal. Good to see them a jelly coming in here, because we don't want our Escav on the jelly, obviously, because the counters are double resisted, and if his response to a Melmetal is like jelly, this pretty much means he does not have a hard response to steel types. So I'm going to shield here, expecting the Shadow Ball, and we get a great shield over there, because a bait would have been really bad, because we can't even switch out to a Escav, right? So that was a great bait on our part, and I'm going to go for the Rock Slide on the CMP tie, and if he lets this go, I can come in and even farm with my Escav, but he shields, which is fine. We can tank a Shadow Ball from this range. Let's see if he does go for it. Yes, he does. He goes straight for the Shadow Ball, and now we're looking to outpace, go for the Rock Slide, take out the jelly. And what does he have in the bag? We have 1 shield, we have Melmetal, and we also have our little Escav. He has a Mandibuzz, so this game is over. We're going to go for a Rock Slide. We can shield the move if required, and we're going to reach another move if he does not throw. He's forced to throw. So this, you can see how this match is going to go. But I'm just going to take this opportunity to talk about non-XL teams and how much fun it is. And it's really difficult to get those XL mons. It's very difficult to grind those XL candies. Like, I have a Lucky, Hundo, Galarian, Stunfisk. I do have a lot of cool mons that I can make, but honestly, I don't feel like grinding for the XL mons, doing hundreds of trades a day and everything. It's a lot of time investment, and for many of us, we don't really have all that, whatever time we get to play Pokemon Go. We just want to play battles, catch some interesting mons, play the new events. There's really not enough time for everyone to grind, so I don't blame anyone for like running XLs, but like honestly, I'm not a big fan of it. Anyway, so we come into an Alolan Muck lead. We're going to cast the Dark Pulse on our big tin can. Again, the logic being we want to bait out the Swampert, the Fighter, the Fire type, and then hopefully Escaf can sweep in the bag. So we saved our Dragonite over there, and we bring in our tin can. He is like counting correctly, does not want to take another superpower, so he goes for the Hydro Cannon, wins the CMP tie and knocks us out. But we can come in with the Dragonite here, and we have to throw one move eventually, because he's going to reach, Swampert can reach 500 Hydro Cannons in like 10 seconds. So we don't want to mess around with the GOAT, the greatest of all time, in the Great League, in the Ultra League, doesn't matter, Swampert is the GOAT. As you can see, he still reaches another Hydro Cannon, so had I not thrown the Dragon Claw, he would have reached one more. So I had to throw one, and I just went for it. Let's see what he chooses to bring in. It's now going to be Escaf versus 2 mons in the bag. It's not looking the best, and he has a Fat Moon, which is not amazing, but it's not the worst, because our Escaf has a lot of play against both the mons. So Escaf versus 2 mons with equal shields on both sides. Let's see if we can pull this off. He goes for Grass Knots. Honestly, if the opponent has the Moonblast or the Future Sight, he should be going for it, because Grass Knot is double resisted and the other moves are single resisted. He shields the Drill Run. I'm not shielding. I'm still not shielding, because I want to save shields for the Dark Pulse, because that would do the most damage, and I'm going straight for the Mega Horn here. Does he respect it? He saw that we threw the Drill Run. Does he know we are running it? Boom! He does not, and that does massive damage. It almost takes out the bulky Fat Moon. We're going to counter him down, and the last mon, the Trash Boy, is going to come in, and this is another easy win, and we can just simply double shield if required. So coming back to the main topic, that this team is a lot of fun for people who do not have those bulky XL mons and want to run something fun and climb to at least around 23-2400 yellow. Well, I've been able to do that with this team, and I'm not even one of the best players out there. I think I'm a pretty decent player, but I'm quite average by the standards of all the best players in the world. So good game there, another win. That's 3-0 so far, and I think this is the last match in the set, because one match gets completely interrupted by phone calls, and that match unfortunately we had to quit out. So we come to the 4th match, and the opponent is running some Spice. He's running a Crobat. Crobat is not the worst, but it just really gets a very bad fast attack. I mean, Air Slash is a really bad move as compared to, Dragon Tail and Thunder Shock and Counter and Mud Shot. So I'm going to save switch again into my tin can, and you might think that why did I do this, because Escaf gets kind of walled by the Crobat, right? Yes, you're right, but then we have brought him down to a range where we can actually go for a Drill Run, and a few more counters should knock him out. This opponent has no response to a Steel type. If he brings in a Venusaur on our Melmetal. So this match is again as good as over. As you can see how overpowered like double steel is. And in fact, if you don't have an Escav, you can even try running something like a Shadow Magnezone, or you could even try running something like an Empoleon. I mean, any steel type with good like coverage moves to function as a closer, because Melmetal is one of the best safe switches, because it is just so safe as the that's why we call it the safe switch. We snipe him here, going for needless plays, because this match is basically over. Sorry about that. There's nothing really that the opponent can do. He quits the game.